Hey everyone. I've been trying to avoid talking about the Jussie Smollett case simply because there are always new twists and turns every single moment. And the minute you think you're understanding or have a grip of it, something else happens. Now, for the most part, I've always been skeptical of the story from day one, simply because, again, my hometown is Chicago. I understand how cold it can get. A lot of the things that Jussie was saying that happened just seemed very far-fetched. It was almost like the perfect storm. We have a guy, two guys in MAGA hats and mask and they put a rope around his neck and he left the rope around his neck until the police got there. There were just so many weird things that happened. It was really hard to take this story serious. Then Jussie, of course, went on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts, and he told a story which made me almost start believing him. I really did. For a moment, I started believing that maybe, just maybe, something did happen to him. Now, I never doubted the fact that Jussie got beat up by somebody. It was always suspect. I was always suspecting that it was some kind of date that went bad, that maybe he was on Tinder or Grindr or Jacked or some of those kind of things that he also mentioned in his interview, and that things just took a left turn. Maybe he got with somebody that didn't like him. I don't know, but I was always under the assumption since this story broke that probably this was one of those dates that went wrong and he didn't want anyone to know, so he just kind of fabricated a few of the details. Because, the whole MAGA country and the stuff like that, not to say that that doesn't happen in Chicago, it was just very just weird that anybody would purposely walk around in negative 20 degrees temperature with bleach. And how would they know that he was going to get hungry and go out for a sandwich? Everything just sounded really, really, really strange. And so, most recent events in the last several hours, after they, a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, they arrested the two suspects, these Nigerian men that so happen to also be extras and have worked on Empire. All right. After they raided their home and took a lot of evidence, they also, from what my understanding from reading a few reports online, they also checked one of the guy's phones. And it so happened that one of the guys had a connection or had been talking to Jussie. So there was some kind of phone call that had taken place between this guy and Jussie, which leads the investigators to believe that this has been an orchestrated attack all along, that this was made up. All right. It's just weird to me. Like I said, all of this is just very, very strange. Now, prior to all of this, I had already questioned why they were still talking about this story. Usually when things happen, they move on from it. They just, and they never spend this kind of time on a black person anyway. So I just found that strange. But maybe it's the angle that he's also gay and he's a celebrity, of course, that they decided to stay on it. But my cousins who still live in the city, they kept saying to me, they've been talking about this every day. Channel 7 News is still reporting on this every day. And that led me to believe they're still reporting on it because they don't believe him. I mean, the police, in my opinion, have from very, very early on have been trying to prove him wrong. They have been trying to prove that he was lying the entire time. And that's why this has been in the news every single day on the local news. And of course, now it's national. He had a lot of detractors. He had a lot of people who did doubt him, and which is why he took to GMA and he talked to Robin Roberts, and he put on this song and dance, and and almost made me feel sorry for him. I truly did. I started to actually question myself and say, well, maybe something did happen to him. Maybe something did. But now, according to Chicago PD, they want to talk to Jussie. They really, really, really want to have a conversation with Jussie. And that leads me to believe that they are ready to press charges against Jussie Smollett. All right. He has also, I think he's obtained the services, a lawyer, an attorney that also represents Michael Cohen. And if you don't know who Michael Cohen is, he used to be the lawyer for Donald Trump. Now, what I'm going to now kind of move on to is the why. I'm trying to understand for the life of me why Jussie did this. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Empire has stated that they were not writing him off the show. So that was confirmed that he was not, in fact, being written off the show. So why on earth would he stage this attack? It just makes no sense to me. I said in my previous video when I talked about Jussie that if this came out that he was lying, this would mean career suicide for him. Is it that he doesn't want this anymore? Is the fame just too much? I don't know. Or is it one of those instances where everybody is thirsting for clout these days and attention and publicity, and they don't care if it's good or bad. They just want it. Because in Hollywood, there is no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good. You will be forgiven. All right. Now, people are hating him right now. A lot of people that are a part of the gay and lesbian community are saying that he is ruining their cause, that he is pushing it back because now people won't believe them when they say they've been attacked or there's been a hate crime. He has set them back. And, you know, he's been one of the biggest advocates for the LGBT community. So it just makes no sense to me. Is he having some kind of mental breakdown? Like I said, is it that he just doesn't want to do this anymore and he wants to go and just be a regular person again? I don't know. But he has pretty much ended his career, and I don't know how he can continue to go on Empire. I don't know. The irony of it is, if they weren't going to write him out, they pretty much almost have to write him out now. And that's the irony of this all. So I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think? Why do you think Jussie did this? Why? It's not like he needed to do this. He did not. But I want to just figure this out. Why on earth did this man end his career this way by lying?